when I said this video is how 45 thinks tariffs work and how they actually work. And the person and this wasn't written by me or something like that. I'm reading it off my tablet, so you got to see it from that person's viewpoint. Last week, 45 increased tariffs on $200 billion worth of goods imported from China, the latest salvo in the administration's months-long trade war with Beijing. On Monday, China said it would retaliate with tariffs on $60 billion worth of American products, warning that it would never succumb to foreign pressure. 45 argued that additional tariffs were necessary to force concessions from the Chinese and would redound to the benefit of American manufacturers and the American economy. Tariffs will bring in far more wealth to our country than even a phenomenal deal of the traditional kind. Also much easier and quicker to do, he said in one of his numerous tweets on the subject. He added, tariffs will make our country much more stronger and not weaker. Just sit back and watch. Oh, really? To make the case for his trade war and to measure his administration's success in it, which 45 thinks that he's the most successful being on the planet, and he's not. So you gotta take it from that point of view. 45 is relying on blatant falsehoods and misconceptions, taking those falsehoods as truths and those misconceptions as correct, accepting 45's theory of trade, that is, the United States might be stronger, the deals might be phenomenal, and the trade war might be good and easy to win, but the Chinese have not yet backed down and show no signs of doing so. In the meantime, the businesses and consumers sitting back and watching the trade war are being modest, but at measurable costs. In 45's mind, tariffs are a potent, unilateral weapon, and protectionism is a potent, necessary economic philosophy. He argues that his tariffs are a direct tax on Beijing, which they're not, a way of sapping Chinese manufacturers, raising American revenue, aiding domestic businesses, and giving Washington's leverage in trade negotiations. Tariffs are now being paid to the United States by China of 25% on $250 billion worth of goods and products. He said on Twitter, these massive payments go directly to the Treasury of the U.S. This is not at all how it works. The Chinese government is no more apt to fork over billions fork over billions of yuan from 45's tariffs than Mexico's government is to pay for a border wall. Rather, tariffs fall on American importers of Chinese goods, who often pass those cost increases um, onto American consumers. That means every time 45 raises tariffs, he risks raising costs on families and businesses. Earlier this month, 45 argued that his dynamic did not exist. The tariffs paid to the USA have little impact on product costs, mostly borne by China. He wrote intimating that Chinese companies have lowered their prices to remain competitive. That has not, in fact, happened. In a new paper, economists based at Princeton, Columbia, and the Federal Reserve Bank of New York rate, although in principle the effect of higher tariffs on domestic prices can be offset by foreign exporters. So basically, he thinks that one way that this is going to help, and it's not. So